Chicago Cubs News Today.
You know what's more frustrating than losing a game? Losing because of incompetent officiating, and only finding out you were right after the damage is already done. Monday night, Petco Park. 9th inning. Cubs down by 4, but still alive. Then that play happens. Matt Shaw hits a ball that everyone saw was foul. Everyone except umpire Dan Merzel, who decides the ball was fair. The Padres go crazy. Mason Miller sees his historic scoreless streak go down the drain. And we keep trying to survive in the 9th inning of yet another loss. And now MLB releases a statement on Tuesday admitting it was a mistake, that the ball should have been called foul, that Dan Merzel messed up badly. Great. Thanks, MLB. Does that change anything? Does it give back the 3 straight losses? Of course not. Let's get to the facts. Ben Verlander, former player and analyst, reached out to the league after the controversy. MLB officially confirmed the call was incorrect and cited the umpire manual itself. Upon contacting the ground, the ball must be in contact with fair territory and not merely over fair territory to be considered fair. When you look at the replay, you can clearly see there's dirt between the ball and the foul line when Ty France fielded it at third base. Dirt. Visible space. The ball crossed the line before making contact with the ground in fair territory. By rule, that's a foul ball. Period. But Dan Merzel called it fair. And the result? Cubs lost 9-7 to the Padres, marking their 3rd straight loss after an incredible 10-game winning streak. We're sitting at 17-12, second place in the NL Central, and now dealing with the bitter taste of knowing that officiating directly impacted the outcome of a crucial game. Here's where it gets interesting. Mason Miller, the Padres' closer, had a historic scoreless streak going. He was dominating, practically untouchable. And then comes this controversial decision that officially ends his streak, because of an umpire's mistake. Look at the irony, the Padres were actually more upset than we were at first. Their manager, Bob Melvin, was visibly frustrated because Miller's streak ended in an artificial way. They won the game, but lost the narrative of one of the best closer performances this season. On our side, Craig Counsell tried to find a silver lining. And look, I get his job. He has to keep the clubhouse focused. He can't fuel controversy with umpires. But when he said in the press conference that we had a good 9th inning, and that the silver lining was making Miller use our top 3 hitters, I almost broke my TV. Silver lining. Silver lining. Craig, we've lost 3 in a row. We had 10 straight wins and now we're bleeding. There is no silver lining in losing, especially when you have the offensive talent to come back, and you fail to execute. Let me be crystal clear. I'm exhausted. Not from following the team, but from watching the same movie over and over again. Officiating in MLB is a joke, and it's not new. How many times are we going to see the league admit mistakes after the game is over? That changes nothing. It doesn't reverse the score, doesn't restore momentum, doesn't erase the frustration of fans who pay for tickets, buy overpriced beer at Wrigley, and watch this kind of incompetence decide games. And before anyone says, it's part of the game, human error is natural. No, not in 2026. We have technology to review everything. Challenge system, high-definition replay, cameras from every angle. If MLB can admit the mistake the next day, why did it happen on the field? Why didn't Dan Merzel have technological support to make the right call? But you know what bothers me even more than the officiating? Our reaction in the 9th inning, down 9-5, we finally woke up. Matt Shaw, Dansby Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, Nico Horner. Everyone produced. We scored 2 runs, loaded the bases with no outs, created real pressure. Where was that urgency in the first 8 innings? If you like following Cubs news, make sure to leave your like. Let's talk numbers, because they don't lie. Mason Miller is really good. Microscopic ERA, high strikeout volume, elite command. But he's not untouchable. Swanson, 13-1, Swanson towered 2-0. Swanson towered for WER. And PCA, elite defense and recently signed $115 million extension. Proved we can make contact and generate offense even against elite closers. The problem isn't talent, it's consistency. 10 straight wins show this team can dominate. 3 straight losses show we're still emotionally inconsistent. How do you explain hitting .190 collectively through the first 8 innings and suddenly flipping the switch into playoff mode in the 9th when the game is almost lost? Craig Counsell is trying to sell the narrative that forcing Miller to use our top 3 hitters is a moral victory. I completely disagree. Moral victories don't exist in April when you have real playoff aspirations. You either win or you lose. And we lost. Now let's talk about what's next. Cubs and Padres play again Tuesday night, 9:40 p.m. Eastern, in San Diego. Second game of a 3-game series. Best case scenario, we use this controversy as fuel, attack from the first inning, and show we don't need favorable calls to win. Put our best starter on the mound, get early offensive production, and shut down any talk about a losing streak. Realistic scenario. It's going to be a tough game. San Diego is at home. They have a solid bullpen beyond Miller, and the momentum is on their side. If we don't show offensive urgency before the 9th inning, it could turn into a 4th straight loss. And then, things change. Because 17-13 is not 17-12. One thing that's flying under the radar, Nico Hoerner signed a 6-year, $141 million extension in March. Pete Crow Armstrong, $115 million. Dansby Swanson already locked into a big deal. The front office invested heavily in the defensive and offensive core of this team. Not to be competitive, to win. So when I see all that talent wake up only in the 9th inning of a losing game, it makes me mad. Because this roster shouldn't depend on last-minute miracles. This roster should dominate series against good teams from the first pitch. Look, MLB admitting the mistake doesn't change anything for us. It doesn't give the win back, doesn't erase the frustration. But maybe it serves as a reminder. We can't depend on officiating, luck, or momentum. We have to impose our game. Tonight, in San Diego, I want to see if this team learned anything. Because we have the talent. We have the investment. What's missing? Consistent execution through all 9 innings. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the Cubs can turn this around and get back to winning? Or are we stuck on this emotional roller coaster?